Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be coming from today. I want to welcome you to today's draft. You got John Hopkins here, going to be joined by Tom Bowley and some great other people coming in from the StockCharts team as well. We got a great crowd here today. This is the first time we've done this during the market, Tom, being open. So it's something a little bit different, but a lot of people showed a lot of interest in this, and partly because the results were so fantastic from the last draft. Anybody who's around or read any of our correspondence and follow-up, really just exciting results, really, from everybody. And today, the participants are going to try to come out number one. We'll see how that happens. But anyways, I see Tom's got a little kitty cat action going on there.
Oh yeah, we got a star. Literally, the name of the cat is Star, and I think she wants to be a star today.
Might take over. Anyways, I know there's a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to be very brief. I have to mention one thing, because we do this every time we have a streaming event. We like to offer people who take the time to stop by a great deal. I'll talk about it a little bit more later. We take a couple-minute break during rounds. But you can go right to our website at EarningsBeats.com. And on the homepage, you'll see that we have our spring special. It's only running through Wednesday. And what's great about it is, number one, you save $200 off the regular price plus 2 bonus months. It is the best offer that we have given. And I think once you get a load of this event and start studying this a little bit more, you're going to want to become part of the EarningsBeats community, as well as StockCharts.com, that we've been part of for 2 decades, probably even longer. Anyways, important to know this event is recorded. So if for some reason you can't stick around, don't worry about it. You'll be able to watch it at your leisure, and you're going to want to watch the whole thing. You're going to want to watch every pick, because that could be the one that makes you a lot of money. Anyways, Tom, I know there's a lot to do. You got some folks to introduce. You got a big draft to get through, so I'm going to sit in the sideline. I'll come back after a couple rounds and let people know more detail about our special.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I'm really excited to do this as our 3rd draft. Talk about the results of the first 2 in just a minute, but before we get into that, I do want to just introduce some great friends of mine, colleagues from StockCharts. We've all known each other for quite a while. Always a lot of smack talking, but also a lot of great picks. And so, without further ado, let me first bring in Grayson Rose, who is the Chief Strategist at StockCharts.com. Welcome, Grayson.
It's good to be here, always.
Yeah, you and I don't have a championship yet, so
I know
we got work to do this time.
Yeah, I know. I joined the presentation here, and I put champ in my name, and then Tom gave me enough crap about it, so I had to take that out. But I will be the champion. I want all of you to know. It's is it, 3rd time's the charm, something like that.
Yeah, there might be a few of us have something to say about that. We'll see. Also want to introduce another non-winner, David Keller, President and Chief Strategist at Sierra Alpha Research, wearing a Seahawks jersey, acting like a champion, even though he's a Cleveland Browns fan. Welcome, Dave. How you doing?
I needed some Super Bowl champion energy for this one, Tom. The last one, shall we say, could have gone better. But that's okay. And for the record, I think the real goal was to pick the top performing stock, and I think I got it with Helmet Aerospace. So my portfolio may have come in under, but I was able to find a good idea. So I'm going to hope to build on that.
That's what we call changing the rules. But yeah, no, you did great there, Dave.
Besides the whole rule thing, I think I came out on top.
Well, I mean, I think the scooter team's not here to speak for itself, but I think the scooter team had SanDisk. I don't think anybody beat SanDisk.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. That's fair.
Fair point. Fair point. And then I will introduce a former champion. Our first challenge went to Julius de Kempenaer. He talked a lot of smack before we got started, and then he's the only one that's been walking the walk. So welcome back, Julius.
Thank you, man. It was great to be here. You know, Dave's not
There
the
it
only one
is.
with a Seahawks shirt.
Yeah, I'm just covering everything. I got all the NFL teams covered.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, that's smart.
So you guys
I mean,
excited to get things going? You got a strategy?
I am super excited. My strategy is in the works, and I think I literally, because I was a little late to the game, finished looking at my charts like 30 seconds ago. So that's that for preparation. But I
Okay.
have a lot of good names on my list. So let's see how that goes.
Well, that's good because you got to pick 10. So hopefully you have at least 10 good names on your list.
Oh, yeah. More than that.
Sounds good. Now, for those of you that are new, and even for those that joined us the last couple of drafts, our results, and I think this is pretty impressive. When you take all of our picks collectively, we swamped the S&P 500 in both drafts, more than doubling in both drafts, which when you can't pick the same stocks that others have picked, so you got 40 different picks, which is what we've had in the last two drafts. Dave, you missed the first one. Julius missed the second one. So today we're going to have 50 picks that we got to get through. But when you've got 40 different companies and you can beat the S&P 500, you can double the S&P 500. That's pretty impressive. So I'm going to give a little shout out to all of us. Now, not because of my picks, it's because of everybody else's picks, but I'll take credit for
your best effort, Tom. The team managed to come out on top.
Yes, you managed to pick me up and carry me. No, but it should be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this. Before we get started, and I figure it's probably going to be somewhere around 9 to 10 minutes. We're going to try and keep it at about 9 minutes per round, and we got 10 rounds to get through. So we're going to probably get this thing started in about 5-10 minutes, and hopefully be done by 1:45 Eastern. That's the goal. So start 12:15, done 1:45. Matt Townsend, who is a research associate with me at EarningsBeats, he also does a lot of great customer service for us. He kind of co-hosts with me when we do our shows on YouTube. He is the fantasy draft extraordinaire. So he is going to keep us in line. What was that, Matt?
So I don't know about that. Extraordinaire. People definitely take my money in fantasy.
Not in football. I don't know. Maybe stocks. We'll see. But I wanted to go over the rules just to make sure not only all of you are familiar and know, but also the folks that are listening in. So if they're wondering why in the heck we're doing certain things, sometimes it's probably because we're just trying to follow the rules. So the main rules of the draft are you must pick one stock from technology, consumer discretionary, communication services, industrials, financials, healthcare, and one stock from either of their three different defensive groups: consumer staples, real estate, and utilities. So you have to have those 7 picks, the 6 groups I talked about, and then the 3 defensive groups. You only need one stock from any of those 3. That gets us up to 7 picks. The last 3 picks, and they don't have to be in this order, by the way. It could be in any order. But the last 3 picks that you have are considered wild card picks. So you can pick up to 4 technology companies. Since the S&P 500 is almost 40% weighted technology, we will allow up to 4 technology companies. So you could use all 3 of your wild card picks in technology if you want. Or you can take a wild card pick in any of the other sectors up to 2 picks in that sector. So you can't take 4 industrials. You can only take 2 industrials. That's your max. Energy and materials, you don't have to pick any of them. You could pick up to 2 in energy. And, you'd get one other one in materials, because any picks in those 2 sectors would be considered wild card picks. Is everybody kind of clear on the rules there? Mm-hmm. All right. We did already do the draft order. Julius, you were not available. You were not here. Somehow you won the random order and you're going to be picking first. I don't know. That shows you how honest we are.
That's my first win, right?
That's us, honesty.
Yeah. Well, Julius won the first pick in the first draft we had, turned it into one of the best picks in the draft. I don't know if you remember, but you picked applied materials. and ended up winning the draft. So I don't know. Hopefully history does not repeat itself here today. But Julius will pick first. Grayson will pick second. I will pick third. Dave is going to pick fourth. And then our fifth team, I haven't talked about this yet, is the scooter team. Now, if you're not familiar with stock charts, the scooter team, it's an acronym, SCTR, for StockCharts Technical Rank. This is a formula that was developed by the late, great John Murphy. I can tell you I think it's a fantastic way of looking at relative strength. If there's one limitation in my view is that the formula really only goes back 5 months. So if you're looking at a 10-year chart, you might see a company that's done really well for the last 6 months, but it's been in a real lengthy downtrend. That could still have one of the top scooter scores because we're only looking back roughly 5 months based on the formula. So the scooters team is going to pick last, and they have a predefined order. So this could be important strategy-wise for Grayson, Dave, Julius, and me. Scooter will pick a technology stock in the first round. Then we'll pick energy. It's in the order of the scooter ranking among sectors. That's the order that scooter team is picking. So technology, then energy, then industrials, then materials, then real estate, discretionary, communication services, staples, financials, healthcare. That was the same thing we did in the last draft with the scooter team. And the scooter team will be picking amongst S&P 500 companies, S&P 400 mid-cap companies, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow Industrials. So no small caps for the scooter team. So Matt has a chart list of those 4 indices, which feel free to pull it up if you want to show later in the show, Matt, when the scooter picks, and you can show how we're picking it. But I will say this, and I don't think this is a coincidence. The scooter team over the first 2 drafts has been the best team, beating me in both drafts. Of course, that's not too hard. I think everybody has done that. I'm just kidding. I wasn't that bad in the last one. But scooter team has been really hot, gaining, I think, 13% in the first draft, barely losing to Julius, who was just maybe about a half percentage point higher. And then in the last draft, the scooter team came in at 19%, picking 10 stocks just based on this formula. And knowing that we're, can't pick the stocks that we pick. So I thought that was pretty impressive when the S&P only went up 6.96% in the last draft. So scooter team almost tripled it. And I think more than tripled it the first one. So the one thing that's key, anybody who's new to this, is I think this is a fair statement. You all can disagree if you want. But I think relative strength is the one common thread between all of us, including the scooter team. Is that a fair statement?
I think that is as fair of a statement as you can make, except for Julius. Julius, do you use any relative tools, anything?
Have you ever heard of any relative tools?
Or you just kind of picking? Yeah.
No, can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I didn't mention it when I introduced Julius, but he is the creator of the relative rotation graphs at StockCharts, the RRGs. So if you follow that, it is absolutely it's a genius tool. It's just a great visual way of seeing what's taking place in the market. But anyhow, Julius has perfected that over the years. So I think with that, guys, if everybody's ready, it's 12:15. We ready to get this thing going?
Let's do it.
Good.
All right. I think we've gone over all the rules. I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to mention. I do want to mention very quickly that if you are watching this, we encourage comments. This is interactive. We're going to be talking smack. Feel free to talk smack about our picks, what picks we should have taken that we didn't. At the end of each round, there's going to be an interactive poll. So you can decide which person you want to vote for. I'm not sure. I don't know if you know, Matt, I know you have to type in a number, but I don't know if the number is it in draft order?
So I think a little thing will pop up on the screen. Chris will probably pull it up. I'm not sure how you set it up this time, but last time we set it up with numbers.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So I'm sure we'll just have
Okay, there
someone
it is.
assigned.
All right. So it is in draft order. So just to kind of help you kind of keep things in mind. But at the end of each round, whatever we picked, who do you think won that round? I think this is fun. And if you want to comment that, hey, you all lost, you should have picked X, that's fine too. But if you want to vote for each round, feel free to do that. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. So Julius, you got the first pick in the draft again, my friend, and you are on the clock. What do you got?
The stock is OUST.
Ooster.
Ooster.
Ooster
right.
Inc. And the reason is because it's picking up on relative strength, of course. And you absolutely need to make that chart much longer and weekly. I'm not playing the hourly game, so do like 5 or 10 years weekly, and then you'll see why.
Yeah. Do you have the chart styles, Matt?
Yeah, but we didn't get one from Julius. I can just make this as default.
Okay.
You know, there should actually be one if you go there under chart style library. I think we've got an expert style for Julius that might at least be a good starting place.
I did send you one, Tom, but it was like I was way too late, so sorry about that.
That's all right.
They would be in the
Right there? Yeah, chart style library, and then go up to the top there. Scroll up just a little bit where it says select library. This is a good little demo of the platform. There's an experts area in here, kind of halfway down. There you go. Look at that. We've got Dave Keller in there. We've got Julius to Kempenaer.
There you go.
Just widen it, or
yeah, just make it a little bigger.
Yeah, we can probably pull it out.
But for the sake of time, this thing has come down massively and made a huge base, and it's now breaking out while relative strength is improving. So there you go. Best stock in the technology sector at the moment.
Okay. So you got a technology stock there. All right.
Yep, I
Grayson.
got one in.
Well, all right, Grayson, what do you got for your first round pick?
All right, I'm hitting technology as well. I'm going to do Cloudflare. Ticker is NET, N-E-T. Really nice breakout of a nice little base here. This is a stock that absolutely moves. I mean, this thing flies around. When you look at it on a weekly chart, though, I don't know if you can pull that back to the weekly, but even just to mention it, it's kind of breaking out of this multi-year base, really finally getting above its highs from kind of late 2021. So I like actually kind of the risk reward on this thing, even though it has moved so much in the short term. You know, this is one of those names that just when it outperforms, it really, really outperforms. So I think this one's either going to be a huge winner or totally flop. We will see. But I like on the daily chart, I like that it's actually kind of breaking out of this this base that we've seen for the last few months. Really, actually, almost for the last year, it's been basing. Nice outperformance on this thing. I'm getting in this at a terrible, terrible time. I mean, even today it's up 8.5%. But we'll see how this one rolls. I think over a longer period of time, this one might actually be a winner.
Yeah, one other thing I did not mention is that we're going to be entering live based on whatever the price is. So I didn't jot that down for Julius, but what's the price there on net right now? Is that 262.43?
Right now, yeah, 262.34.
Okay, 262.34 is the price we go with. Pull Julius's back up. OUST, let's get that price.
Sorry, I was on the other computer.
That's fine. 44.14.
That is correct.
All right, that's what we're going with. So now it is my pick, and I'll tell you what, Grayson, you made a good comment about bad timing to get in, but we don't have a choice to sit back and wait for a pullback. This is you get in now or you don't get in. You got to face, So I like relative leaders, but a lot of times that means you're going to get these stocks overbought. I mean, there's just no way, around it based on our competition. Others can wait, but we have to make the decision. So I am going to go in with a company that absolutely just blew away its earnings estimates last week. Had a massive gap up. I don't think it's done, though. I'm going with DELL as my number one pick. and that is also in
Flyer.
technology. And what do you got there for a price? 452. Let me see. Just pulled it up. 452.20. So that's the price I'm in. All right, Dave, sticking with technology.
So here's the thing, guys. I wrote down so many technology names, I stopped writing tickers. So I appreciate the strategy, but I feel like there will be a lot of good tech names available in the next round or two. I'll go consumer discretionary, where I feel like it's a lot tougher. I'll go with MOD. And Modine is one of the auto parts stores. Certain sectors I found very easy to find a lot of really good charts. Certain sectors I found were a lot less attractive. Consumer discretionary was one of those where I quickly was like, is there any chart in this sector that does not look like garbage? And I came to MOD, and so I'll select that one. It's one of the, again, on a relative basis, pretty good. If you look at it relative to the sector, that's where you can find that the relative performance really, really shines. So thinking from the sector restrictions that we have, that seemed like a logical first pick. I'll go MOD.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. I actually thought about that. I did that in the last draft with a couple of sectors. I wanted to get them in early because I just didn't have any backup plans.
Yeah,
So,
I've only got a couple names on that one, so let's get one in now.
Yeah. All right, so we got the scooter team up. StockCharts Technical Rank. So Matt, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. So technology, the highest scooter score that has not been selected is that SanDisk.
That is indeed SanDisk.
I'll tell you what, the scooter team has killed us with SanDisk the last two drafts.
Yeah.
Seriously.
God. But don't forget, it's getting in at a really, really bad time here because it's overbought, it's extended. So it's not gonna work this time, scooter team.
Fingers crossed.
Can't do it 3 times in a row, can it?
Right.
All right.
Awesome.
That's the end of the first round. So you can vote. You can't vote for the scooter team. We only had 4 choices available, but you could definitely go with Julius for Ouster, Grayson with Net. I have DELL, and Dave has Mod. Now we go to round 2, and we reverse the order of the draft. So it's a snake draft. So the scooter team, which picked last in the first round, picks first in the second round. They must pick stock. What do we got, Matt?
So we're going energy this round, and then
Yep.
it looks like we're going to go Valaris.
VAL.
DELL.
VAL. Oh, I didn't get the price for Mod, and I'm not doing this very well here. Mod, I'm putting down 290.69. SanDisk,
You got it?
I'm going to 1766. Even. And Valaris, VAL, is 93.68. And the pick now, second round, goes back to you, Dave.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm debating between 2 storage names. I do have to pick now technology at some point here, and now I'm afraid you guys are going to keep picking it, and then I may run out of ideas. So I'll go with Western Digital, WDC. Those 2 storage names, I mean, semiconductor names obviously have been remarkably strong, but I mean, when you think about a group of stocks that have just consistently outperformed, the relative performance on Western Dig and Seagate is remarkable. Just consistent outperformance, nice consistent uptrend. This is one of those classic innocent until proven guilty charts. So I'll ride it and hope this continues for the next couple months.
All right, so WDC, I'm pulling it up, and I'm showing 553.83. All right, now it is back to me, and I am, I got some choices here to make. I am going to go kind of sticking with Dave's theory. I'm going to move into a different group so I can kind of get one of the stocks that I definitely want. I'm going to move into the industrial space, and I'm taking Sterling Construction, STRL.
That's a good pick. I had that on my industrials list. That's a good one.
I'll let you know in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I like that chart.
Good chart.
STRL currently at 844.50. And it is now to Grayson. Round 2 for you, Grayson.
Yeah, so I got a structure, I got a system, so I have to pick a technology name based on this completely arbitrary thing that I've come up with. I think I'm going to go with Palantir. The problem right now in technology is that everything has moved so just ridiculous percentage values. I mean, even if you just take that alone, it's crazy what things have done. Palantir, I think, is one of those few names, as crazy as the long-term chart looks. On the daily, it actually is one that hasn't done as crazy of, all these nonsensical moves as all these other things. So Palantir right now is sitting right under its 200-day moving average. I think the risk reward actually on this is kind of nice. Found a bottom, trying to push higher, starting to outperform. So I like this chart. We'll see how this goes.
All right, I got Palantir 160, 104.
There we go.
All right, Julius, back to you. What are you following up Ouster with?
Yeah, I'm gonna go like Dave. There's plenty of technology names to pick from, and I'm pretty sure I picked a few that you guys don't even want to look at, so I keep them in my back pocket. For consumer discretionary, a lot harder to find good names there. I'll give you that, Dave. But my pick is KFRC.
That was my number one pick in that sector. I should have gone there.
There you go.
Good pick. I like that one.
Huge double bottom, new breakout, relative strength improving, nice long-term base.
There you go.
All right, 47.97 is the price I'm showing there. So that ends the second round. So Julius with KFRC, Grayson, Palantir, PLTR. I went with Sterling, STRL. Dave with Western Digital, WDC. Let us know what you think in the poll. Who won that round? Now we will move on to round 3. After we finish this round, we'll take just a quick break. I know John wants to come in and just talk briefly, but let's go ahead and get round 3 started, and that will be Julius. You're back on the clock again. Where are you going now?
Yeah, we're gonna go. So my strategy. We need to get one stock in a bunch of sectors. So I'm gonna go communication services now, and the stock I'm picking is SIFY.
Okay. SIFY. I am showing price right now, 1734.
Yep, and as you can see, nice consolidation, higher lows being put into place, pushing against overhead resistance while relative strength is improving. I'm putting in a little gamble here that it's going to take out that resistance level and then going to continue higher. So that's my reasoning for it.
Yeah, I got a couple of those stocks later where I like them. I think they look good, and I'm hoping they make the breakout. That's not a good feeling when you got to hold 3 months if it doesn't work.
That's true. That's true. But they look seriously good on the RRG. So
cool. All right, Grayson, round 3. What you got?
All right, this could bite me. But here's something that people love to forget is that energy is still a great sector right now. We spin the sectors on our market summary dashboard. We spin it in 3 ways, right? Cap weight, equal weight, small cap sectors. Those are kind of the little boards that we have. If you sort those all by scooter, the second ranked sector right now across the board, across all 3 of those, is energy. I think people have kind of put that out of their head. I don't know if it's the Iran war thing, maybe coming to an end here at some point, but energy still a strong sector. So I'm going with an energy pick, and that's going to be MPC. That's Marathon Petroleum. Long term, this has been an absolute winner. This thing has outperformed the S&P 500 over like the last 5 years by over 150%. Think about energy names doing that. That's crazy. I like this thing on the daily, though. I think it's kind of been consolidating just a little bit here for the last couple of months, starting to outperform a little bit, pushing towards the top of that range. So I like what I'm seeing on the chart of MPC, and it's just been a relative winner. So I'm sticking with that as my 3rd round pick, MPC.
All right, sounds good. I got you at 259.49.
Perfect.
All right, now it is back to me. I am going to. All right, there's a stock in the communication services area that I don't want to miss out on. Another one that has just been flying. Another great earnings report. I think this stock is being revalued based on the not only the earnings strength, but also raising guidance that was just crazy. I'm going with Bandwidth, BAND. Another one that is in the stratosphere. But I think these stocks go into the stratosphere for a reason. You'll see pullbacks from time to time, and there's no question this one needs one. But I just think in 3 months it's going to be higher. So I am going to go with Bandwidth, BAND, and I'm showing the price right now, $69.62. I'd like to buy at last Wednesday's price, if you all don't mind. Now, $69.62, that's the price. So now it's on to Dave. Dave, you got a discretionary, you got technology. Where are you going this time?
Yeah, this is interesting. So I tell you what, I'm going materials. I'm going to bring Nucor, NUE, just because I don't want one of you guys to grab it, and I like that one. Steel companies are one of those kind of areas of the market that people have not, I think, sort of underappreciated because it's not tech, it's not sexy, but the charts are working. And so the steel companies generally are working pretty well. I like NUE compared to the others, so I'll lock it in now.
All right, I'm showing a price $250.37. I will say that I only had one energy and material name down on my sheet of paper, and it was Nucor. That was literally the only one I was really thinking about. I mean, there are a couple others I like, but that one I think is a very, very strong stock. Steel, can't question the momentum in that group right now.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a great pick.
Hey, you don't have to pick materials. Materials and energy are the two sectors that you can just leave out. So
right.
This is true.
Just stick with your tech.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with these high flyers.
Yeah, exactly.
With your great entry.
Why come look at the good stuff?
All right, Scooter team is moving on to the industrials to end round 3, and then we're going to take a quick little break. So what do we got there, Matthew?
So we would go to Sterling's already off the board. It looks like we're going night Swift transportation.
All right, KNX. And I'm showing a price right now of $77.06. All right, any comments on that one, folks? Looks like a pretty good chart to me.
What was Julius's? It was SIFY.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So round 3 for those voting. Julius SIFY. Grayson went energy MPC. I went with another high flyer BAND, and Dave, moving into the steel area, picked Nucor NUE. How'd we do in that round? What do you think? And we're going to just take one quick little break. I know John Hopkins had just a couple things to mention, and we'll jump right back into round 4 in 1 minute.
Yeah, I got some great comments. Everybody's happy to see you guys together. The pace is terrific. First round, I've seen a lot of ones in there, I got to tell you. I think people like to stick with a winner. So nothing against you guys, but Julius, you got a little reputation at stake here.
Yeah, that's worrisome, though.
History does not always repeat itself. Anyways,
Exactly.
Matt or Chris, if you could pull up our spring special real quickly. You can go right to our website, EarningsBeats.com. This is as good as it gets. This gets you a full year access to EarningsBeats. Normally our annual rate is $9.97. We've, for the spring special, knocked it to $7.97, and until Wednesday, you get 2 free months. So 14 months for $7.97. You're going to get Tom's weekly report, which is very extensive to start the trading week off. You're going to get the daily market reports from Tom. You're going to get access to all of our webinars. Something coming up in just the next 29, 30 days is Tom does a quarterly market update preparing you for the next quarter. Very popular feature. It also gets you access to our biggest event of the year, the Market Vision events. They happen right at the beginning of the year, and that's when Tom lays out his thoughts for what he sees for the year. So all I can say is if you want access to, by the way, Also access to our portfolios. Every quarter, Tom puts out a model portfolio, aggressive and income. The model is absolutely crushing the S&P. It has since the inception, and it's killing it this quarter as well. Anyways, this is a great way to get to know us. 14 months instead of 12, save a couple $100. It's as cheap as it's going to get. It's great value. And if you have any questions, you can write to Matt. By the way, if you're a member and you want to take advantage of this, do it. You'll get the bonus. It'll be added to what you already have in terms of your membership time remaining. Anyways, Tom, I know people are here for the draft, so I just want to get that in there. Go to earningsbeats.com, get signed up.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I'll just mention Julius definitely has a reputation. We'll just leave it at that.
I have more than one reputation, Tom. You know that.
Depends on who you talk to. Anyway, let's get started on the fourth round. Scooter team is up, and it's material time. And I don't know if Nucor's on the top, but that might have been a timely pick, Dave. I don't know where the Scooter team.
It's going to go Alcoa.
Alcoa.
Was that? I don't think Alcoa was top, was it?
And materials, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. Okay. So there were a lot of other names. I just saw like technology, but there must have been materials in the name. That's probably what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yep. So AA, Alcoa, and the price I am showing at this moment is 78.76. And next up, we move back to Dave. Dave, what do you got for round 4?
Here's my problem, gentlemen. At some point, I have to pick a stock in the communication services sector. I think they are absolute garbage across the board. I find very few that I really enjoy. So I'm going to plug my nose, cover my ears, and pick TKO Group. Ticker
No!
TKO.
Unpick it. That was the one that I was going to pick.
And
There's
now that I
nothing in that
feel like
space.
Grayson is going to pick it, I feel even more validated with this selection. Listen, the communication services sector is absolute crap. I think, generally speaking, on a relative
really
basis, I challenge you to find a worse performing sector. However, TKO stands out, and then it was below its 200-day and just flipped back below it. I run a scan where I look for stocks that have gone below their 200-day and flipped back above it. This popped up last week. And so when I was looking at communication services, I was like, all right, if this is available and I can do it, I'm grabbing it. Here we go. It happened.
A steal from Grayson.
Wow.
Price I'm showing is 208.51. All right. And by the way, all of our picks are equal weighted for performance purposes. And we do include dividends, by the way. We will adjust for the dividends. So it is a total income kind of a contest here. All right, back to me for round 4. Wow. Starts getting a little bit more difficult here. I think I am going to go also with discretionary because I'm starting to run out of some names here. I really liked K-Force, but I'm gonna pass. I got like 3 other names. I've been like juggling them, and I don't know which one to go with. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go. Let me see if it's. I don't want to fall too far apart now. It's up again. All right, I'm gonna go with Lindblad Expeditions, LIND. Another one, this has been a clear leader. Looking at the chart, relative strength, it's in the recreational services area. I mean, it has just been one of the best performers out there. I like relative strength. So this was, I found it challenging to find too many stocks in this space as well. But this was one that I liked. It's available. So I'm going to go ahead and take it as my 4th round pick. LIND, and the price I'm showing right now is $23.37.
That was one of the only other ones I had in consumer discretionary, Tom. I think that's a great pick.
Well,
it was the 4th one on my list, so don't worry about it. There's plenty more in that sector.
Look at Julius bragging. He's got 3 better than that one. All right, it is on to Grayson. You're round 4 pick.
It's on to me. Here's the deal. I gave everyone a whole speech about energy. We got strength in large cap energy. We got strength all the way down to small cap energy. So I got to stick with energy. So
Wow.
I'm going with VLO. I am pretty sure, someone's got to check me on this, but I'm pretty sure that I had VLO in Valero in the last Super Bowley that we did. It must have been a winner because it's just stuck out to me so much. I'm sticking with VLO. This thing is a steady trender. It has outperformed the S&P 500 over a long period of time. It's outperformed the S&P 500 over a short period of time. Big old leader in that space, $75 billion company. I like the trend on this thing. I think it continues actually coming out of kind of another one of those short-term bases. Been consolidating just a little bit here, near new highs, and starting to tick up back to those new highs. So I like what I'm seeing on the chart of VLO. I'm sticking with that strength out of energy.
Wow, that one surprises me. Not so much the pick, but the fact that you've now got 2 wild card picks in the energy space.
Yeah.
All right.
Bold
Obviously,
move,
that was a
Grayson.
strategy coming in.
It's the secret sauce, Bowley. And I can't tell you how it's made, but you're getting a taste of it.
I'll tell you at the end of the quarter how it's made. All right, Julius, you get to end round 1. What do you got?
I am going to go with the industrial sector, and I'm going to go with AIN. AIN.
AIN.
AIN, my friend.
All right.
Again, one of these stocks that, coming out of a long downtrend, both in price and relative. And now the momentum is building up. So you and I need to have a chat about momentum, because you only seem to be buying momentum when it's going to the moon. There is also momentum when something comes out of it and then starts to move. So instead of buying at the highest price ever, I try to buy momentum and relative strength when it's coming out of a downtrend. Usually that's got a lot better odds to outperform the market, my friend.
Well, or it could be a head fake. So it just depends on where it goes from here.
I'm gonna go for my reputation, So
All right,
these head fakes are.
You got the smack talking floor because you're a winner. You're 1 for 1. You're the only one in the competition that has not done anything but finish first.
I think Julius has actually just invented a new term. It's called moonmentum, and it's when you buy that momentum that's going to the moon. I like that.
There you go.
You're gonna have to
I like
coin.
it. Yeah.
It started here. That's good.
Hey, I'm guilty as charged. I love me some relative strength. I like the leaders.
AIN, my friend.
All right. And by the way, Grayson, VLO, I had 254.63. Just want to make sure we got that number down. That was the price. And AIN right now, I'm showing 63.04.
Sounds about right.
All right. Next up is Julius for another pick.
Ooh, good one. So now I'm going to fill my obligatory sectors first. So that means I'm going to financials and the stock. So this is going to be. I'm wondering what you guys feel about this. I'm going to go with CRZBY. But that's an ADR. It's Commerzbank. Or are we good with that?
Can I tell you after the competition's over?
Yep. In that case, it is in now, and if you want to change the rules, then they start next
time.
I don't have a problem with it. Does anybody have a problem with it?
No.
If you want to pick a European bank, Julius, I say do it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Germany's going to win the World Cup as well.
Oh, here we go.
That's a less controversial prediction, but okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
I just know. I probably know by now. I probably know more about American football than soccer. So trust me.
All right, I got you at 42.95, 42.94 on that stock.
Yeah, I'll buy them.
All right. Next up, Grayson, round 5. What do you got?
Ooh. So I'm going industrials.
Okay.
You stole my sterling. I think I think I'm going to go VRT.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, now I'm even happy.
That's right there on the top.
Oh,
come on,
yes.
man.
So I'm gonna pick VRT because I've got a small camera just over Dave's shoulder, and I'm just gonna cherry pick everything off of his list. No, this thing is a flyer. I mean, long-term outperformer, just a steady climber. On the short term, I mean, just trending higher. I think industrials is one of those spaces where when you see one of these trends take hold, they can really, really last for a long period of time. So I like finding trenders in that space, trending stocks in the industrial space. This one just makes sense to me. Relative strength looks great. It's lost its 20-day, but it's bouncing off the 50-day moving average. Everything is just trending higher on this thing. Really, really nice looking chart. Not much that you can pick apart. And, when you can't really pick too much apart on a chart, it's probably a pretty good chart, right?
That part is true.
VRT.
All right, 324.96. 324.96. All right, and now it is back to me. And I'm going to move to financials as well. And this is one of those stocks that I really like what's starting to happen with it, but it's one of those that has overhead resistance. I'm kind of hoping it breaks out. It's been in a 4-year consolidation, MSCI.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can bring up a weekly chart on that or not, Matt, but that'll show, if you go back 5 years on a weekly, I think it'll show this sideways consolidation. It's got a great long-term chart. It's just been consolidating forever.
Yeah.
But right there, it's just starting to move up, but you can go back and see from 4 or 5 years ago, it's not quite through that level, but I like the strength building down at the bottom. I like the stock relative to the specialty finance area. It's probably at about maybe a 2-year relative high. So I'm kind of hoping that this is the start. This was a group for me that was difficult to find a stock in. The financial space right now, I think it's going to be a great area later in the year. I think if we start moving back toward rate cuts, but right now with inflation, still talk, there's just a lot of folks not really moving into that area. So there were a few names that looked pretty good to me. I could have gone with more of a high flyer, but I ended up going with MSCI. So MSCI, what was that?
That's a good pick. It was number 4 on my list, so you're getting there.
Wow, I keep getting your 4th best stock. You keep letting me have your 4th best stock.
You're welcome.
That's fine. Yeah,
634.33.
That's a good pick, Tom. That base is just tempting. I've been tempted by that in the real world, as a trader for years, like watching that thing try to actually finally unfold. Maybe it's going to happen. But the trend that thing went on, the run that it went on from like 2012 to 2022 or whatever it was crazy. When you look at a really long-term chart of MSCI, beautiful thing.
Yep. Well, we'll see if it makes the breakout. On to Dave, round 5. What do you got, Dave?
I tell you what I got is I'm still salty about Grayson picking my stock. However,
Yes.
I did find a better alternative. I'll go with ticker FIX. This is Comfort Systems. It's also in the industrial sector and has a remarkably similar chart. And I was looking at those two names and thinking long-term uptrends, pulling back to the 50-day moving average, higher highs, higher lows. I love the long-term trend. I love the short-term pullback in both of those charts. I was hoping to pick both of them up, but I'll select. I'll find comfort in Comfort Systems. FIX.
Yeah, I think that might have been one of Grayson's in one of the prior drafts. I don't know if it's the last one or the first one.
Right? Yeah,
that's been a big winner for a long time.
Chart.
And I had that on my list too, Dave. I mean, that's a great chart.
1814.27, 1,814.27 is the price right now. So we move on to the real estate area, and this is for the scooter team. So Matty Slice, what do you got here? XLRE.
It looks like we're going to do some Iron Mountain.
Ooh, IRM. All right. So IRM is currently trading at 129.60. And just to remind everyone, if you came in late, the Scooter team through 2 drafts has had arguably the best picks. And it's just the StockCharts Technical Rank. So if you're a rule follower, I think, using the Scooter, and that's an exclusive indicator, by the way, at StockCharts. So if you're on the platform, you can get this regularly. It's updated every single day by asset class. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to it, Grayson, but I think it's a fantastic indicator for not just relative strength, but it's almost like relative momentum.
Yeah. So the beauty of the Scooter is that it's consistent. It's the same methodology that's applied to an entire universe of stocks. And so I've said this, it sounds kind of controversial, but I do genuinely believe it. The methodology almost doesn't matter because it's the same criteria that's applied to all of these stocks. So if you use it as a filtering mechanism, you can really quickly say, you know what, the stuff that's below 40 or below 30 or below 20 is probably just not going to look that great. I'm going to just focus my energy on the stuff that's above 60 or above 70 or above 80. And if you think about it as just an easy way to filter down your universe and make sure that you're looking at stuff that's probably going to start from a pretty decent standpoint, it's a thing of beauty. There's so many stocks out there, right? You need a way to filter those universes down. You can't look at every single stock. So if you think about the Scooter methodology that way, it's the same criteria applied to all of these things. And it makes it really easy to really quickly say, hey, this is probably going to look good because it's got a Scooter score of 85, or this has a Scooter score of 2.9. So it's probably going to look like crap and I'm not even going to bother. It's got a lot of strengths to it, as we've seen multiple times running this competition.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of it beating me. I can tell you that right now. One of the things I like
guys,
to do.
One quick thing.
Yeah.
This is completely different. I'm reading the chat here, and that's funny as hell. But I learned something new. You guys know how they call people who love Taylor Swift?
Swifties.
Swifties.
We're scooters.
Call me a Scooty.
You know that we now have Kellerites.
Kellerites.
It's a thing. It exists. Kellerites.
I'm
My
good with
God.
that.
Dave, congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but I hope it's not contagious. Actually, I hope
You
it
got
is
a
contagious.
following.
That'd be great. Spread some more Kellerites all over. Tell your friends.
Wow.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry for interrupting you.
That sounds like a cult.
Yes.
It's kind of the point.
Is it like cellulites? Kellerites?
Cellulites.
I'm not sure. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how to continue after that. But we do have to continue. So let's go to round 6. And Scooter team is back up again. And this is a discretionary. So we were arguing, okay, where are the good stocks in discretionary?
Let's
Scooter
find them.
team. We need an answer.
We're going Borg Warner.
BWA. All right. So BWA. And let me get that price. So I'm showing $70.02. And that comes from the same area that you went into, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's the whole auto parts play. That's one of the few groups showing some decent strength here, I would say.
Yeah. Well, Scooter Score agrees with you, and that's strictly a formula, just getting the best stocks, relative to the other stocks within its asset class. So there you have it. Moving on now, Dave, you get the next pick, round 6. What do you got?
Okay, I'm contractually required to select a defensive stock, and so I will go Archer Daniels Midland, ticker ADM. I think that's the first consumer staple stock that anyone's picked.
Did you pick do you have access to my laptop or something? That was on my list, man. Come on.
I'll tell you after the webcast, Grayson.
Man, you two are going after each other.
I'm freaked out here, Dave.
It was my number pick in XLP as well. So
listen, hey, we're all generally pretty decent at finding decent charts. And this is one, particularly in consumer staples, it's a super diverse sector, and you have some absolute dogs, and then you have some really interesting charts. And a chart like ADM, I love something like this in a defensive sector where if you covered up the ticker, you'd guess it was in industrials or something like that, because it's not going vertical, but it's just like this nice, consistent uptrend. Strong chart getting stronger in a defensive sector. I like it.
I like the stock as well. And right now, 82.11 is what I see. So 82.11 is the entry price. And now we're back to me. Let's see what I can come up with. So Julius can criticize me again.
No, I won't.
I guarantee you don't have this in your top 4.
Tell me.
I'm going back into technology.
Oh,
All right.
I am going to go with a stock that is absolutely on fire. I think there's a reason why it's on fire. I think it keeps going higher. I'm going CrowdStrike, CRWD.
that is some momentum right there.
That's momentum.
Moonmentum. I might start another portfolio called Moonmentum Portfolio. Price that I'm showing right now on CrowdStrike. I wish I could have gotten this one a little while ago. 768.80. And you know what? The scooter team is looking at me saying, good pick.
Good pick.
If the scooter team could talk.
Or you got sniped. Snipe a scooter.
All right. No comments there. Everybody is just dumbfounded that I went for one that's that overbought. All right, Grayson, you're up next.
So I am sticking with staples because apparently I'm chasing Keller, although I am not a card-carrying Kellerite. I'll tell you that right now. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm going with BG. You know, same kind of commentary. I'm going to repeat everything that Dave said. Tough to find anything in staples right now. I actually wanted to go with real estate, but we picked the one real estate name that I was looking at. So I'm going with BG. I think actually on the daily chart, I really like this thing. Starting to kind of see a little bit of relative strength coming out of it, pushing up to the top of that range, bouncing off the 50-day. Terrible entry. I can't believe that I'm picking a consumer staples name. It's up 4.5% on the day, and I'm going to buy it at that point. That sounds great. But I mean, if I were actually going to trade this thing, it's a really nice little range. You can manage the position. It's a nice looking chart. Moving averages all going in the right direction. I'm picking BG, Bungie Global.
Hey, you get a staple stock that's up 4% in the day. You still got another 2.5% for the year left.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a real winner there.
All right, the price is $129.20.
Can I get like a discount on that? I have a coupon for this consumer staples name here.
Too funny. All right, Julius, what's your next wizardry pick?
My next wizardry pick, Tom, is going to be in the healthcare sector because I have to pick a stock there.
Well, this is our first one, isn't it?
Yeah.
The first one in the healthcare sector, yes, absolutely. So no one can grab my ultimate pick in that sector, which is ILMN.
Oh my God, that was my number one pick.
Illumina. You're lying.
No, I'm not. I got it right here on my sheet. I can't show you my sheet because I got all my other picks on here. But yeah.
All right. Yep. So there you go. ILMN. Huge base. Could even argue that it's a huge head and shoulders that formed over like 2.5 years. Just broke out. Relative strength improving. Starting to move into leading on the RRG.
Yep.
I
absolutely love that pick. 162.42 is the price I'm showing. That one hurt. I went through. I circled my 10 stocks that I wanted to get for today, and ILMN was one of my 10 I circled. So that one hurt me. But that's the end of round 6. So Julius, ILMN, Grayson, BG. I went with the Stratosphere stock, CrowdStrike, CRWD. Dave with ADM, Archer Daniels Midland. So give us a vote. Let us know what you think on those picks. And while you're doing that, Julius, round 7, kick us off.
Yep, I am going to fill my defensive stock. And ADM was already picked. So instead of the staples, I'm going with real estate. And I'm going with RHP.
RHP. All right.
RHP, nice breakout to all-time highs, relative strength bottoming, not crazy overbought yet. So plenty of upside potential and moving into uncharted territory.
Yeah, I like that space. The hotel and lodging REITs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the hottest area within real estate right now.
Absolutely. I saw like Hilton and the IHG hotels, all the hotel type stuff started to pick up. So yeah, I went with this because it's breaking out to all-time highs because there's no resistance left. So there you go.
Yeah, you did that for me. That's the Bowley method.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when you get a real estate stock that goes from 89 to 116 in 2 months, that's what you want to do. You want to jump right in and chase that thing up.
I will refrain from commenting on that.
My stocks do that one day.
That's what I mean. I mean, a while ago, I had the question in the back of my mind. I thought, well, no, that's too insulting. But I was going to ask you, like, you actually are aware of the fact that you need to hold this stuff for 90 days, right? So
yep, I am. 114.83 is what I got for you there, Julius, on the price.
I'm good with that.
All right, back to Grayson. Your round 7 pick.
Yeah, I'm going discretionary. I am going to cruise to a championship this time here in the Super Bowley on the backs of VIK, Viking Holdings. This is a cruise line, River Cruises. This is a pretty young company, only went public in 24, as far as on the public markets, young company. It's just gone up the entire time. It's really just trended higher. There's not a single shareholder that owns Viking that's going, what the hell do I own this thing for? I love that. No overhead supply on this thing. Steady trender. It's outperformed the market steadily since going public. Really, really nice looking long-term chart and nice on the daily as well. Just, all the moving averages in the right order. Relative strength up at new relative highs. Price at pretty much, all-time highs. Lot to like on this thing. And it's not actually overbought too. RSI is really hanging out in the bullish range, but not overbought, which I like. And it's down slightly on the day. So I'm not buying something, maybe for the first time today, I'm not buying something that's up, on its way to double digits. So that's great. I'm getting a good entry on this thing.
All right. Your entry is 91.47.
Okay.
And just to mention the fact that the Vikings have never been to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So you had to throw that in there. Now I'm doubting my pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and change to no, just kidding.
Or maybe no. Have the Vikings been? They haven't won. I know they haven't won.
Have they been to a Super Bowl? No, I don't think they have.
I don't think so.
That's a good question.
Even when it was the purple.
Somebody in the audience will know.
Yeah.
I want to say they're 0-5, but I can't think of what they're 0-5 in. It's not Super Bowls. They weren't.
They probably went in like those. I'm talking like 70s. I bet they were in there a couple.
Yeah, the purple people.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually
kind of a dynasty in the 70s, 70, 74.
Like the glory years of the Vikings, but not in the modern era.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have a record similar to Buffalo, but I'm thinking it might be in the Super Bowls, but it would have been a long time ago.
Yeah, that's bad.
All in the 70s. Just looked it up. They lost
all in
4
the 70s?
times.
How many?
4 times in the 70s.
4.
70,
wow.
74, 75, 77.
Yeah, back to
but
back.
Never won it, right?
And
never won it.
Oof, brutal.
Never won it. All right, moving on to me. All right, I am going to go. I'm going to go with a staple stock here. And this might be my only hope of getting approval by Julius. I'm going to go with Monster Beverage, MNST.
Good pick.
Good long-term track record. They just moved up, broke out, nice relative strength. If I got to go with a stock in the defensive area, I want to get a leader. I think Monster's been that and has become that again here in May into June. So that's going to be my pick here. And my price right now is at 88.82. And we move on to Dave for his round 7 selection.
All right. I'm missing 2 required picks, financials and healthcare. And I am going to go Jazz Pharmaceuticals in the healthcare sector, ticker Jazz. Number one, because I'm a musician. So if I have the opportunity to pick Jazz, I'm going to take that. But from a technical perspective, strong price, strong relative action. Healthcare is one of those other sectors which I find there's some random, really positive outliers. These names have had these vertical move, like Eli Lilly comes to mind. Yeah. But Jazz is actually as consistent of an uptrend as I can find in the sector. So I'll go with long-term strength, continuing to show strength.
All right, price $231.55. And now we move on to the scooter team to wrap up round 7. We move into the communication services. We've struggled in that area. So what's scooter team coming up with?
We're going Verizon, it looks like.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
There weren't a lot of picks.
Was that a scooter score of 64?
Yeah. Oh, I must, yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Do Staples. Put Staples in that box instead of consumer.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
In the search box.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Just type in Staples. Yeah, there we go.
That would be the next round. Oh yeah, true. Sorry, I forgot.
No, you're right. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah. We're on Verizon.
Yeah, go back. All right. So communication services 64 was the highest.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't seem right.
All right, I'm going to double check that because 64 does not. I mean, I know it's been a rough.
There we go. I see what I did. I put in communication, not com.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so LYV.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is a pretty good looking chart.
Yeah.
Been trending up nicely.
Yeah, there's only like 5 choices when I pulled up the initial communication services. I was like, that doesn't seem right.
All right, so LYV price right now 169.05. And that wraps up round 7. So our picks in round 7, Julius RHP, Grayson Viking, VIK. I went with Monster, MNST, and Dave with Jazz, JAZZ. So feel free to vote. Feel free to bash our picks. Feel free to whatever. We're going to move on to round 8. And now it's the staple stock.
There we go. We're going DAR, Darling Ingredients.
Yeah, it's a nice chart.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Nice little consolidation after that move up.
Yeah.
That's a continuation pattern. I like that.
It's a good pick. That could be a winner for the scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Nice job, Scooter. Pick 60 or the price $60.69. And we move back to Dave for Dave's round 8 pick.
Okay, I'm going to pick financials here, and I've got like 3 stocks that are all kind of bouncing around in my head, and you just have to kind of pick one of them. So I'm going to go Morgan Stanley. I'll go MS. A couple of the larger firms like MS and GS are kind of these good momentum names, strong performance, strong relative strength, moving averages kind of looking pretty good. So I'm thinking of this as sort of a core position that if you have to have exposure to financials, which I do, and I'm with you, Tom, it's like that the sector in general, I don't feel like is a great ripe area of opportunity at the moment, but having to find one, I'll pick a good stock showing good relative strength. Morgan Stanley is good enough for me.
Yeah. When I talked earlier about some other financials, that was one of the names that kind of stood out to me as well. That one and Goldman Sachs both. Yeah. Were you making a comment there, Grayson, on that?
Goldman just looks fantastic right now. It's been having a year. I mean, there's a couple of those things, but I agree with Dave. It's a weird sector at the moment. And Tom, I agree with you too. It's a tough one.
Yeah. The last draft we had, we each picked a regional bank. Remember that?
Yeah.
And didn't work out very well. The Fed kind of turned, no more rate cuts, kind of said that we're going to push back rate cuts. And so a lot of the financials took a hit. And so finding financials in this environment was challenging.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think that's a really solid pick right there.
Yeah. I think every trader has their sort of challenging space that's just never worked for them. And mine literally for a decade has been financials. Financials is like my white whale of trading. Every time I go, you know what, this looks great, I'm buying this. It never works.
Yeah.
Financials just drives me nuts.
Yeah, you're right, though. We do all have one. For me, it's the shippers. The bulk shippers. I mean, I cannot get those right.
Yeah.
All right, so the price, 209.15. And now it's back to me. Let's see how I can offend Julius on this pick, because that's my goal right now. I have, let's see, I got tech, industrials, communication services, discretionary financials, another tech, staples. I still need healthcare. And Julius took my healthcare pick.
You want one of mine?
Yeah, I'll take your ILMN. Now I'm gonna do another one of these crazy picks in the tech sector. Man, I think these companies are moving up for very, very good reason. These earnings are absolutely off the charts. Interest rates are low, and they're all being revalued. And I don't think it's ending in the next 90 days. I'm going to go with, in the tech space, this is my second wild card pick. I'm going to go.
You had this prepared, right?
Yes, but I got multiple names, Julius. Just have patience here.
All right.
I'm going to go Datadog. I'm going to stick with software. I'm going to another one of these software companies.
Moon Minimum.
That is some moon momentum.
Yep, that's where I'm going.
12.5% up on the day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Let me look back at my list again.
You haven't refreshed your chart yet, Tom.
Well, the good news is I love software right now, so this is good. Oh my God.
It's moved.
278.21. I'm writing down the price before it goes up anymore.
Tom, that stock is mooning you, man.
What's above momentum? What's the next word higher than that? Momentum. I don't know. We'll work on
the Mars minimum.
But I mean, Tom, this is the weird thing about this market right now. You're either totally wrong or you're absolutely right, because the moves that we're seeing.
I'm finishing first or fifth.
I mean, it's crazy though. Like Datadog's up 173% in 8 weeks.
Woo.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what?
It's breaking out on a long-term chart, but it's still like, whoa.
Yeah, it consolidated before this run for a long time.
Long time, years.
Yep.
So I mean, you could be, it could be just the start of another crazy move out of Datadog, like we've seen in the past. Who knows?
Well, we're gonna find out. My portfolio is gonna find out. So 278.21's price. Grayson, you're up.
All right. I'm going communication services, and I'm picking something. This is very unusual as a guy who looks at literally hundreds, if not thousands of charts a week. I have no idea what this company is, but the chart actually on the daily looks pretty dang good. ASTS. This is AST Space Mobile. One of the only things I can find in communication services that looks decent to me. Nice little consolidation here near new highs, but this thing absolutely moves. I mean, speaking of crazy things like Datadog, I think this thing was up like 110% in 2 weeks or something. Yeah, now it's back down 25%. So, I mean, maybe I'm getting kind of a decent entry. It's kind of bouncing off of the 20-day moving average. But I mean, when this thing moves, it moves. So I'm gonna take a flyer here on ASTS.
All right.
And we'll see.
All right, price I'm showing 103.75. I like that chart. I like the breakout. I think you are getting a pullback. Looking, did have like a false breakout last week. And
Right.
so it's kind of pulling back off of that, but it looks a little bit to me like a cup, maybe a handle's forming. On
Yeah.
this pullback.
I don't hate this chart. It's just, I mean, God, this thing moves around a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're not going to be able to relax watching this one for the next 2.5 months.
Nope.
All right, back to Julius to end round 8. What do you got?
I am going back because I think I have filled all my needed picks. So now we're going to go for the real stuff. In technology, CGNT, Charlie Golf November Tango.
All right. What do you like about it?
I think you can tell me. Huge base,
Yeah.
huge base, breaking out after a massive decline. So just the longer term chart here, if you bring up like 5 or 10 year chart, like 5 is enough. This thing isn't that old. It traded around 35 in 2021. So we're breaking that. Red strength is improving, pushing strongly into the leading quadrant. That RRG line there is flat because it came from these highs. But if you look at it right now, it starts to move up. So I think this thing has a lot of potential, upside potential to go. So CGNT.
CGNT, and I'm showing price right now, 12.24.
I like that chart. If you're looking for a a stage 1 breakout, that's a good one. It's a good chart.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think there are some in that space that are just starting to do that. I thought another one in that space was Figma, FIG.
Oh, yeah.
If you pull that one up, Matt, just on that same chart on Julius's chart, very similar kind of thing. I mean, this one went down pretty steep, but just now starting to turn back up again, getting a little bit of momentum from that software group. Just as a whole, money's just rotating into software.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting because these are two different strategies, going with the stratosphere and the leading stocks in the space versus stocks that had been beaten down and are just starting to show relative strength.
Yep.
So like from a bigger perspective, we've seen all these magnificent 7 or whatever number you want to pull to it, and tech stocks and some in communication services go into the stratosphere. So I don't disagree with the fact that these sectors are still super strong. I am just wondering why, if there is still enough fuel in the tank to keep these guys going. So what I did is I'd look inside the sector, but concentrated on stuff that did not make the move yet. So my larger bet, if you want, is to try to stay away from these super large cap moon momentum type stocks and try to find the next winners in the same sector, because I do agree with you, Tom, that the tech sector right now is crushing it. If you look at an RRG for the sectors, tech is in leading, pushing away, strong heading, and all the others are moving the other way. I did a talk the other week, and I called it tech against the rest of the world, and that is exactly what it is. So tech is still strong. I believe it will continue to go. But I think it's now time, at least for the next few months, to look for the new leaders in that sector while the generals take time to recover a little bit. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents for I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you raise a great point, because this is something I know I've talked about on my show quite a bit lately. When you look at the relative strength in the market, technology has been so strong, and it's almost 40% of the S&P 500. So by default, everything else looks weak.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. I mean, Julius, on the RRG chart, you're right. I mean, when you pull that up, the XLK is sitting way over, showing tremendous relative strength, and the other 10 sectors are on the left side.
You also realize that from a risk perspective, we are not looking good, because with 40% in tech, we essentially do need to pick 4 tech stocks at 10% each to keep up with the sector. So Grayson, for example, with 2 stocks in the energy sector, has an active weight of about 16%. I think energy is like well, maybe
Yeah.
3%. So 17% active weight.
Right.
I can tell you, my friend, if you were a portfolio manager at Fidelity or Schwab or Wellington or any other big shop,
Yeah.
you would not be allowed to take that bet. That is not going to fly. Luckily enough, we have the liberty to do that. But I want everybody to know that our goal is to beat the S&P 500, and by default, we do need a lot of tech stocks to do that. If that sector continues to move, we do need that, and that's something that is really overlooked a lot of times, even by professionals. So.
I mean, but this is, since we're primarily talking to independent investors, individual investors, right? There's this mentality that you should follow hedge funds, you should follow, big PMs at shops like Fidelity, right? And the reality is, if you're an independent investor and you're a big Fidelity portfolio manager, you're playing completely different games. And the independent investor should not be looking at the Fidelity PM saying, well, I'm gonna treat my portfolio like this. They're different, playing different games. So it's interesting that people have this mindset of like, I'm going to treat myself like one of the pros, like one of the experts. In reality, you can do something different because you're not playing the same game.
Well, the interesting part is that the average retail, I'm going to generalize here. I'm not going to insult everybody online, but the average retail investor is a very hard client or user to please, because if you're playing, if they want to play the Fidelity game, like the professional PM game, they should be willing to accept that their portfolio goes down 10% while the market's going down 20%.
Yeah.
Very few people have that stamina, have that calmness over them to do it.
Yeah.
So the way I explain is that a professional fund manager has a benchmark, and it's all relative. So that means portfolio goes down 5%, market goes down 10%, PM outperformed 5%. He's a hero. He did great. The RIA catering for retail clients who has a portfolio that goes up 5%, but the market went up 15%. When the market goes down 5% and his portfolio goes down 2.5%, has a very hard time explaining because the client lost money.
Right.
So in my view, the retail user very often applies what I call the God benchmark.
Yeah.
If the market moves up, they want to outperform. If the market goes down, they don't want to lose any money.
Right.
Yeah.
Those
No
two,
risk, all reward.
exactly. Those two don't play nice together.
Yeah.
So weightings and benchmarks, super important. On the one hand, be very happy that you're a retail investor because you don't have to worry about all those restrictions, but keep it reasonable. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about risk. I mean,
totally.
You can go after the returns, and I always say, when we do our portfolios at EarningsBeats, we treat our portfolios as though it is the aggressive part of someone's investing.
Yeah.
That's the way they should treat it, because we're taking a very aggressive approach with the idea that we're going with momentum, and momentum is not going to carry in every stock throughout the entire period. So you're going to have some pretty big swings, and you can have big drawdowns. But if you understand that you're taking that risk in an effort to try to outperform, then that's just a decision that you make. If you don't want to take that risk, then you have to be willing to accept the fact that you're not going to outperform when the market's in an aggressive mode like it's in right now. Because if you're not trading semiconductors, or if you haven't been trading semiconductors in the last year, I challenge you to outperform the S&P 500. I don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly an uphill battle. About as steep of one as you can find.
All right, we got 2 more rounds to go. Let's get back into it. Julius, you are back up first in round 9. What do you got? You need a wild.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Put your money where your mouth is. So I'm going to go for my third pick in technology. How different is that from the first Super Bowley that we did, my friend? I don't think I had any of it. So in technology, my third pick is RIOT, RIOT.
I love it. I own it.
You own it. There you go.
I own it.
Has it your approval?
Yep.
It's one of those huge base, still has lots of place to move, not chasing it. Yeah, I think the chart looks great.
Well, you're chasing it a little bit. It's not up 12% today.
Yeah,
but
I
it's up
know.
up 5 1/3. You're up. Your price is 28.56.
There you go.
I like it. I like software. I really like software. I've been touting software for a while. I thought it was improving, and now I think we've actually gotten breakouts on the weekly chart. I actually wrote an article, our EB Digest, just a free newsletter that we do, and I wrote about the software, that area, and the fact that we could on a kind of a longer term chart. It almost looks like software could be putting in like a right shoulder kind of a thing, or but I just feel like this is a group that in a secular bull market, this is the second largest area within the S&P 500. And it has taken like a year off. So it makes a lot more sense to me to see this group leading, especially if semiconductors pull back and money rotates away from semis for a while. I don't think the money leaves the market. I think it rotates. That's what secular bull markets are made of. And I see software being a major beneficiary of any kind of pause in semiconductors. But I don't know. I mean, what do you all think about software as a group right now?
Well, the charts were supporting that narrative where AI is the future and software is the past. And the charts reflected that for the longest time until they didn't. And now we've seen a huge shift. And I feel like one by one, it's like the CrowdStrike kind of moves have started to emerge. And now what's interesting, and I hope we don't talk too much about this so it doesn't affect my ability to pick a stock I'm hoping to pick in about 3 picks, Tom. But I would say there are a number of software names just starting to break out. And I compared to really extended semiconductors, they were just, a stark contrast.
Yeah.
But the narrative, and certainly coming out of earnings season, I think the earnings were way more encouraging in the software space than you might think.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Tom, is if you pull up MSCI and XSW, which is the S&P software index, they're almost the exact same freaking chart. Like if you do a long-term chart, like a 15-year chart, they look almost identical. These long runs. Software, though, just like you said with MSCI, it's been basing for a couple of years. It's been in this just sideways range, just stuck there. It's finally kind of up pretty close to new highs. But I mean, I think we've been waiting for years for software to break out. Yeah. I think that the AI revolution is actually what software has been missing, right? If you think about what AI is going to bring to software development, maybe that's kind of the missing component actually that's been sending software sideways for all these years. Now we're going to have all of this extra, horsepower with AI. Maybe that's actually what finally juices software to, back to that run that we saw from 2012 to 2022. Who knows?
Yeah. Matt, pull up that NSCI on that chart you're showing right there.
Oh, I heard MSCI, NSCI.
Yeah. NSCI. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, that's that one. Maybe that isn't the right one.
Yeah, no, MSCI was Tom's pick earlier, but then the other chart, the software chart, is XSW. But if you're looking at like a 15, do
XSW. There you go.
Yeah. So that chart and then MSCI, I mean, they're like almost the same thing.
Similar charts. Yep.
Yeah, it's funny, but we'll see. I mean, I think software is certainly not dead. I don't know why we love to think about things in these binary terms, right? You read headlines and it's like software is either the greatest thing on the planet or it's dead. There's no middle ground. It's like, in reality, the answer is somewhere in the middle.
Well, a year ago, semiconductors were dead.
Exactly. See,
in March, April. And then they broke out a relative strength line versus the S&P.
Right.
And they never looked back. And I'm seeing software almost the exact same point that we saw semiconductors a year ago. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out from here.
Yeah.
Did you take a pick there, Grayson?
No, I did not.
What do you got?
Yeah, let me jump back in. We're on round 9, right? So I'm going to go with financials. I don't have a financial stock yet. I mean, as we talked about, this is my white whale of this whole business. I'm going to go with Citigroup, C, and the ticker nice and short there. Nice looking chart. I mean, I think GS, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, and, a couple of these big players in the financial space do look pretty decent right now. When I look at this on a daily chart, a lot to like. It's pinging off the 50-day today up nicely. I think this does need to regain a little bit of relative strength, but if you think broadly over a longer period of time, it's been outperforming the market heavily for over a year. So I do like to see that. Just kind of one of the few names in that space that looks constructive to me. There's a lot of other names that just look a little crazier. So I like the chart on Citigroup relative to some of the other names in the space.
All right, 127.85, and I happen to agree with you. I think this is one of the strongest bank names out there.
Yeah.
Been outperforming their peers for literally probably the last 3 years, but especially the last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something well, and I think getting them on the 50-day moving average test is probably not a bad strategy here.
Yeah.
Since you gotta have one.
Gotta have one.
All right, now it is moved on to me. Let's see if I can get one more high flyer. I need some more momentum. I am going to go. Let's see. I've got 3 tech names. I'm going to get a 4th tech name in here. And it's going to be another. Oh, I got a few to choose from here. Do I want to take that one? I'm going to go with, this is another great earnings story. They blew their numbers away. They raised guidance. INOD, INOD. It's in the computer services area. Just another one that just broke out above a high that it set last fall. But INOD is going to be my 4th technology pick. So I have used up my wild cards, and the price I'm showing is 115.06. Another one having a big day, Julius, up 9% today. All right, we move on to Dave.
All right. After Julius's little speech, I feel like I'm underweight technology too much, so that's a problem. So I go AppLovin, APP, which is actually pretty high on my list of good. With technology, I'm probably not going to pick an overextended semiconductor, although I get the argument. I feel like there's a corrective move that I feel like is going to happen right in the middle of when we're doing this this time frame. AppLovin a little earlier on, just getting back above the 200-day moving average. That's a list of. I run 2 lists very often. One scans. One is a scan for stocks that have been below their 200-day, just getting back above it. And the other one is stocks making new 3-month highs. And in the last week, AppLovin's kind of come up on both of those screens. So for me, that means it's worthy of attention. So I'll add that as pick number 9.
All right, 611.85. And the scooter team is up to wrap up round 9. Financials, Maddie.
That's right. I think this one hasn't gone yet. Interactive Brokers Group.
Good chart.
Yeah.
IBKR.
Yeah, good chart.
Great chart.
Like that one, just breaking out.
Yep.
Price on IBKR, 89.47. And we have arrived at round 10. For those wanting to vote, round 9 picks. Julius with RIOT, RIOT. Grayson, Citigroup, C. Tom, Innodata, INOD. And Dave, AppLovin, APP. Round 10, scooter team needs a healthcare stock. I didn't even look to see, but I know I need a healthcare stock, so please don't take mine. What are they going to take?
They're taking CNC, Cinte.
CNC, that one wasn't on my list. So I'm okay there. Nice little breakout there as well.
Big move.
Yeah, but this is a perfect example of a stock that has done well in the near term, like maybe over the last year, but is still way below the high from 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a $97 stock back in 2022, and now it's a $60 stock, and it looks like it's extended. So could very well still have a lot more room to go. 60.96 is the price I show. And now we're back to Dave. What do you need, Dave?
My final pick. I'm covered everywhere, so I'm just filling out my tech and AI portfolio here to wrap things up. Julius, this is for you. I'm picking a Dutch technology company, NBIS Group, ticker NBIS.
Like it.
Good chart, getting stronger.
Yeah, that's a nice chart.
Stronger. That is a nice chart.
I love that base and the breakout. Just looks like during March or April. I mean,
You know what? I didn't even know that was a Dutch stock.
That's great. There we go.
But I like it.
Yeah, good chart. And I love the breakout, the pullback in April, and then just a nice continuation. So this is definitely the most extended name that I'm adding to the group, but I feel like I want exposure to the juice in some way. So
The juice.
I'll take one pick.
yeah, this one we actually have I think it's in our aggressive portfolio. It might be our model, but this is a stock that I really like in that internet area. But NBIS right now, 268.58.
Yep. That's in my hot stocks as well. Love that chart.
Yeah,
That
Matty
breakout
does a hot
and then
stocks list that he's been keeping for a while, and it's 20 stocks every week that he puts out there for our members. And I'm telling you, this thing's been on fire for a while, but it's just pure momentum. So you can imagine. I think there are eight semiconductors that have been on there for a while.
Yeah, I think that I had deleted a couple. I think there's 9 now, but yeah. I think at the top it was 11.
Well, I mean, that's what was working. It was
semiconductor list.
It was a semiconductor ETF.
That's right.
All right, let's go. It's back to me, and I think I have to get a healthcare name. Yeah, I don't have healthcare, so this is going to be able to narrow that down real quick. Can't do ILMN. Might have to go with another one that recently broke out. Oh, all right. This one, I don't know. Julius, you might approve of this, although it's been going up quite a bit. I'm going to go with TXG, 10X Genomics. If you look back at a longer term chart, this one was beaten up for quite a while. It's come back pretty strong over the last year or so, maybe last year and a half. No, it's been about a year coming off the bottom, but still it's showing a lot of relative strength now, a lot of momentum recently. And I'm showing a price right now of $28.34.
I like that one.
You know, I think I figured out why Julius likes these charts, because they kind of look like a J, right? So coming down, and he wants them to go back up. It makes sense.
It's a reverse J. You're absolutely
Reverse
right.
J.
I like it. Yeah, well, I'm glad I got your approval. I feel like the old Life cereal commercial. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. I'm dating myself now. I'm surprised Grayson's even laughing at that joke. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody my age in the chat right now is like, oh, yeah, I remember those commercials. Yeah. All right, that was my last pick. Grayson, what do you need, or what are you getting?
So I need a healthcare stock. I'm kind of surprised that no one's picked Eli Lilly, finally joining the $1 trillion club. I'm not doing Eli Lilly, though. I'm going to actually go with TEVA. That was a head fake. I'm going with TEVA Pharmaceuticals, TEVA. Quite a lot smaller, but a really nice name in that space. Nice move higher, kind of at the end of 2025, consolidating here in 2026, but pushing up towards new highs. I want the relative strength to get a little bit better on this thing, but I still think within that healthcare space, you know, if you got to pick something in that space, I think this is one of the more constructive charts out there. Long term too, it's actually been a winner over the last few years. 5 years or so, it's outperformed the market. So, I like to find those names. Ultra long term, not a good chart, heavy underperformer. But let's ignore the last 15 years and only focus on the last couple. It just kind of looks decent on the daily, so I'm picking that one from healthcare, TEVA.
It looks good, actually. You mentioned relative strength coming, weakening a little bit, but that normally happens during a period of consolidation.
Oh, totally. I mean, especially with a year like what the S&P 500 has been doing.
Right. I mean, this is a really nice looking cup and handle that I see.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right up to the right side, pulled back to the 20-day moving average. I mean, I like this pick. I think that this is one of the stronger looking charts in healthcare.
I think that's a key point to hit on really quickly is, when you're thinking about something like relative strength, you need to contextualize it, right? If there's a name that's just been absolutely dragging, going lower while the market moves higher, and so it's underperforming, yeah, that's really ugly relative strength. If you see bad, quote unquote, bad relative strength like on TEVA, but it's in the context of a move and some consolidation, there's a chart pattern there basically. And so technically, yeah, it's not, strong on a relative basis, but it's still a strong chart, and it's sort of, playing out this formation, and the market's been strong. That's extra context to the relative strength picture, right? And so you can sort of have the same relative strength in numbers if you kind of put numbers on it, right? One could actually be bad, and one could sort of be good, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, another way I like to look at it too is go back to where it set the high before the consolidation started.
Exactly.
Where was its relative strength? And you can see it was straight up.
Right, exactly.
So this was a leader going into consolidation, which when it breaks out, you expect it to start leading again.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is a nice looking chart. I actually hadn't seen this one, so
yeah,
I'll be happy to switch with you. All right, Julius, you started it. You get to end it. The irrelevant pick in the last round.
So the irrelevant pick. This is going to be, I think, unexpected. The name of the company is Ormat Technologies.
Which one?
The Ormat Technologies. And my question to you guys is, in which sector is that stock? ORA.
ORA.
Aren't you the data guy?
You are picking a utilities name.
I am picking. I was thinking about how am I going to bring this to you guys, and I'm going to tell you that this. You know what a closet technician is, right? This is a closet tech stock.
Yeah.
And I actually double checked on my Bloomberg terminal whether this was classified correctly, and it is indeed a utility stock. So there you go. ORA.
That's a good looking chart. I mean, this is the weird spillover that we've seen with technology, right? Everyone, we were talking earlier about how technology is a huge weight. It's been the big outperformer. I think you got to put it as not just technology, but really technology and friends, or technology adjacent. I mean, there are all of these utilities names that are benefiting from the massive data center build outs and all of that stuff. There's a technology outside of technology story that's also been happening this year. And clearly Julius is picking up on it.
Yeah, I've got the price there, Julius, of 137.38.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I didn't mention it, but TEVA I had at 34.23, Grayson.
Right. Yep.
So those just want to make sure everybody's got the prices, for the tracking purposes. This was a lot of fun. Finished right on time, by the way. We were looking for 145. It's 143. So good job keeping us rolling, Maddie. You didn't have to really step in. We kind of kept.
No, you guys did it all yourself.
Yeah, I mean, this was a lot of fun. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to go through the comments, but I know you were. I think you were looking through there, Julius. But I'm hoping we didn't get bashed too much.
Did we get 10 stocks from the scooter team?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
SanDisk, Valaris, Knight, Alcoa, Iron Mountain, Borg Warner, LYV, Live Nation, Darling, DAR, IBKR, and CNC.
Yeah, LYV I missed. All right.
Yep. So we can just kind of talk here for a few minutes. Any regrets or any strategies now that you want to share that you didn't want to share before we started?
Mine was trying to get ahead of Grayson's picks. I feel like I did that a couple of times, so mission accomplished.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that camera in here. It's got to be.
Regardless of how this all turns out, I'll always have that. Okay.
I was using the scooter score to pick the sector that I was going to put myself in. So I was basically looking at our market summary dashboard and sorting all of the different sectors across cap weight, equal weight, and small cap, like I said before. And then basically saying, okay, we've got all the sectors ranked with the scooter score. Here's the top sector. Here's the second sector. Here's the third sector. I want to pick stocks from those different sectors. But then within there, I was going in and finding, the charts that sort of spoke to me. But I was using the scooter to kind of, decide where I was going to go, and then picking individual names. Once that told me, hey, you got to go to tech first, then you're going to go to energy, so on and so forth.
I thought, it's funny with something like this. I feel like technology, like your cup runneth over with really good charts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like an actual. If anyone's done fantasy football, you spend all your time debating like the third receiver for the Commanders or something. It's like the top picks are pretty obvious, but you're trying to. So for me, figuring out like a consumer staples play or something like those are your healthcare, which I found kind of frustrating. Was challenging, and it really reinforced once again, if you really go through all of these sectors we were trying to pick, just how dominant a couple sectors are from a technical perspective. Pretty clear how it's tilting, and when you do sort of a bottom up look, you find that very, very quickly, I think.
Did anybody make their selections or consider picks based on the thought that maybe the Fed would hike rates or that inflation is a bigger problem than what we thought it was? Do you think that inflation could become a problem? Is that any thoughts maybe as to why I maybe picked a real estate stock or anything like that? I mean, did that enter anyone's thoughts in this?
I mean, I think for me it was avoiding consumer generally. It's just not a great, because I think there's, out of all the indicators we can track that are not technical, the consumer sentiment is probably the most concerning, I would say. And that's, I think, reflecting, conditions that maybe the prices aren't reflecting yet. So I think that was one of the reasons why generally consumer and then financials, I was just like, generally, these are sectors I'm really not excited to pick from. So I'm going to find the outliers that look pretty good. Last time we did this, I think financials in particular seemed like a much more ripe area to focus on. So I think the macro environment really shifted that one in particular for me.
Yeah. It's interesting that Dave is doing that maybe a little bit more intentionally than I am, but we kind of ended up at the same point, right? So I'm saying I'm using the scooters to basically just tell me which sectors to pick. That put things like financials down at the bottom of the list. And it puts it put energy at the very top of the list. And if you think about the inflation story, right, one of the biggest components to that is energy and gas prices, oil prices, big beneficiary energy. So, you kind of end up getting that, even if you're trying not to be intentional with it, you kind of end up getting the same spin just by following what the markets are doing.
Yeah. One for me, having followed this secular bull market pretty closely and really studying what's worked and what hasn't during this last 12, 13 years in particular. I find it interesting. There was the old Wall Street adage, go away in May.
Yeah.
And if you look at seasonality and you look at growth stocks versus value, their period of outperformance during the secular bull market has been May through August. That's when almost all of the strength in the IWF versus the IWD has occurred, which is large cap growth versus large cap value. And so when I, going into this, I think the tendency is to think, well, my gosh, we've gone up so much in so many of these growth stocks and growth areas. But I don't think it's over. I think that we are still, we're going to see some rotation. I do think I found it pretty interesting. Couple things. Number one, no one picked a Mag 7 stock.
Yeah. Actually, NVIDIA was the one that I did kind of have on my list. And I just assumed that someone else was going to pick it right off the bat. Because of all those stocks, that's actually one of the few that doesn't look stretched. You kind of have a better risk reward on NVIDIA right now. I'm surprised that we didn't pick a Mag 7 name.
That was Alphabet was on my list for communication services. Yeah. If people started picking that a little heavily, I would have gone there. But those very few.
Yeah.
Apple looks good. Apple been performing really well.
Yeah.
I could have thought something like Microsoft, because I do like software a lot, but I wanted to go where the relative strength was.
Yeah.
I think the software move is just getting started, which is why, I took obviously some pretty big chances taking those risks to try and get bigger returns in the software area. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just about, I guess the one area that kind of worries me a little bit is the semiconductor group. And I found it really interesting that outside of the scooter pick of SanDisk, did we have a semiconductor picked?
I don't think so.
No,
I mean, that's the largest area of the S&P, and we're in a bull market, and none of us picked a semiconductor stock.
Yeah, I think you picked the closest thing being DELL, but it's not. I mean, that's not a semi stock, so it's closer than Citigroup. But
did you have any semis on your list? Like, did you think about picking any?
NVIDIA, I definitely had NVIDIA, towards the top, but I don't know. They all feel so stretched. I kind of had ARM at one point.
I was going to say ARM. Yep.
Yeah. But again, it just feels it feels a little too crazy to me.
I had LRCX. I think some of those semiconductor names feel less stretched, like a Micron, more of a consistent uptrend. Yeah. If I'd had 12 picks, I would have picked Lam Research, and then I probably would have picked an EMP stock like Diamondback or something like that. I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse that I did not get an EMP stock in there.
Yeah, I had Fang on the list.
Yeah. Yep.
Julius, any thoughts? Like, what were you thinking coming into this besides you're the champion of the world? And
I was glad that I managed to finish my sort of analysis and first round stuff before the show started. So that was my win of the day. And then when you guys started to pick all those moon momentum stocks, I was like, all right, I'm good. So I could like, look a little bit further down there. It was great fun as usual, and I think there was a lot of alongside the picks, good discussion on some general topics on like investing and what you need to take into account and how it works. And I think that also has a lot of value. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and before we leave, a couple things. First, Grayson, we mentioned the scooter team throughout. Obviously, they're drafting a team, and they've done extremely well for the last 2 drafts. And I kind of like the team they put together again. I mean, it's a lot of relative strength winners. That is an exclusive feature at StockCharts. I know we had talked about, maybe some kind of a special or something. Did you say that there was a code or something that folks could use if they want to try?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of the stuff that we're showing off today, all of these tools that the 4 of us use, they fly if you're a StockCharts member. You really got to be a StockCharts member to take advantage of this stuff the right way, and saving charts and flipping through different templates, like we're doing so many different things. We do want to give you guys, if you're not already a StockCharts member, I want to give you guys an opportunity to join at a good discount. So we're actually doing a 50% off coupon for new members. So if you're not currently a member, you got this 50% off coupon. It's Super Bowl 26, not Super Bowley, but Super Bowl 26. I think it's all caps. I don't actually know if it matters, but try it in all caps, see if that works. But Super Bowl 26 is going to be the coupon code. Look for that when you sign up. But it's a good coupon too, because you get actually a free month of StockCharts. You sign up for your free trial, you're going to get the free month. And then on top of that, if you sign up with that coupon code, you're going to get 50% off your first month. So you almost get like a month and a half for free, which is a pretty good deal. So use that coupon. Yeah, we would love to have you if you're not already a StockCharts member. So many of the tools that we use, you got to be a member to access them, and it really just makes the platform fly. Once you join, you get access to those premium features. So you guys are all so great at sharing the different parts of the platform that you use, and we all have a way to make it sing, using the tools that we have and the workflow and everything like that. So it's so cool to see you guys too, flying around the platform. Always makes me happy. But
awesome. So they don't need a special link or anything. Just go in. It'll
just go to the homepage. Yeah, visit stockcharts.com. Look for that big green button. You've also got one really at the top right corner of any page around the site. So hit the free trial button, just sign up for your free trial. You got to look for this little thing that says, do you have a coupon code? So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, yeah, just put the code in, Super Bowl 26. I'll post it here in the chat in just a sec too, so you can actually just copy it right out of there. It looks like the EB team actually just posted it. So
okay,
but yeah, just visit StockCharts.
All right. Also, Dave, I know you're doing a show, Chart This, every day on YouTube, where you recap the day's action. You do it all 5 days of the week.
Every trading day, we do a live stream right after the close. Actually, at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, we do it. So if you want to track all of these stocks and how my portfolio dramatically, hopefully, outperforms these other four, check it out on the Market Recap Show. You can find that on my YouTube channel called Market Misbehavior. Join all the other Kellerites, which is a term I will trademark later today, I hope. And it's a lot of fun. We go through a lot of charts. A lot of stock charts that we throw around, but it's really just highlighting what's moving, focusing on trend and momentum and relative strength. So, and also a Market Misbehavior podcast that Julius and Tom have both been on, and Grayson, I actually haven't had you on the Market Misbehavior podcast, and I hope to resolve that very quickly.
I'd love to join.
That's on me too.
Whenever.
Yeah. I don't know. After
You guys can do it in person.
I know we could. That'd be fun.
I don't know. After Spygate, I don't know if that's going to work.
Spygate. Yeah. I need proof that that Dave's not spying on my laptop here. He's picking all my names. Oh, man.
That's funny. Julius. So RRG.
Yes, sir.
How much did you, I mean, obviously you created RRG, but how much do you use that? Like when you were doing the picks today, did you have them in an RRG where you're looking for the stocks that maybe are just moving up on a momentum basis into that?
No. So the way I did it for this occasion is because the universe was super big. So I created a scan which looked for stuff that was, I wanted, because this is not all based on relative strength. We want to make money. We want to, beat the S&P, of course, but also make money. So I created a scan looking for price being above a few moving averages, shorter moving average, be above a longer moving average. What else? Market cap above 500 million US dollars, price above $5, basically what you put in the description. So I had those as my sort of main requirements for stocks to fit, and then that makes me have, and then for a lot of these sectors, there were like 100 and something stocks pretty much. So then I started to put a little bit more restrictions in. RSI needs to be above 50 but below 70, stuff like that. And then if I had a list that came around 50 names, I tuned it down to like 50 names. I throw them on an RRG. And then I start looking for the stuff that is at a very strong heading, shows long tails, either moving into the leading quadrant or inside weakening and turning up. And I try to avoid the ones that are like way over to the right, because those, what I explained, are the ones that have led the charge previously. So I was looking for the stuff that is entering that move, using a weekly RRG. So hoping that we can get 10 to 13 more weeks of movement in the same direction. That was my approach.
So to paraphrase, you basically were ignoring all of my selections.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why we were not in each other. Well, I picked, what was the one that I picked? ILMN.
You had one.
Yeah, so there was one there. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But in general, in the tech sector, I don't think we had many overlaps. So.
Fair enough. There. Yep, we all have our different strategies for sure, but still, it does come back a lot to relative strength and momentum.
It does.
It's a short-term competition. We're not talking about 10 years from now, let's get back together and see how our picks did.
Yeah.
This is for 2 months and a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we are going to end this on August 14th. August 14th. So we got 2 months, 2 weeks, and then whoever's got best portfolio will take home trophy number 3. Did you all get the check? Julius, did you get the check that was sent in the mail from back in February? The big Super Bowl.
Yeah. I did get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you were supposed to hold
a
up
million bucks prize money. That's
Yeah,
the one, right?
what it was.
They're Bowley bucks though. So
Bowley bucks.
Yeah, I was going to say it bounced.
only
Went to the bank and say, can't deal with that.
right.
Well, actually, you can use it. It does have value, but you have to use it on EarningsBeats annual membership.
Yes.
Oh.
So you'd have to
could only be used to buy
quarter.
Okay. Okay.
What was that, Grayson?
It could only be used to buy Tom a beer at his local golf club.
That's true. You know what would be nice is to be able to get together at the end of this live. Do some live smack talking, do a happy hour, have a beer. All of the audience can kind of grab a drink with us.
Yeah.
And pour over our sorrows after another rough quarter. This was a lot of fun.
There's once, you were complaining about stocks in the consumer discretionary sector. I had quite a few. And I also had BGRI there because I was in Redmond, Washington, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And there is a BJ restaurant there where I had a dinner on my own because all my friends were out on that night. And I was sitting in front of the bar and actually texted you, Tom, a picture of the beer taps.
Oh, yeah.
So BGRI was another of my picks in the consumer discretionary sector.
That is about as sideways of a chart as you can get. I'm looking at a 15-year chart of this thing just going sideways.
Huh. Let's pull that up and take a look and see.
It's breaking out, dude.
Yeah, but look, it's
right there, right at the upper edge.
It's at the upper end of that range, but man,
take a 10-year chart. It's breaking out. And the ROG lines are putting up. It's pushing into leading. Strength's picking up.
Yeah.
This one has 32. So this is $15 upward potential. So here, I'm gonna give it for free. $60 is the price target minimum.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
Wow. Hold on, I gotta make that buy right now.
It's an 11th pick right there.
We're taking way too much time of these people. They're getting bored with us. So there you go.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I do want to just remind everybody, if you are new to EarningsBeats, it was a pleasure having you today. We do have our annual spring special going where you can sign up for our annual service, $797 a month, save $200 plus get 2 free months. I'm sure there it is up on the screen. Probably will have a link in the description as well, or just go over to earningsbeats.com. This will be up through Wednesday at the end of the day. So if you'd like to join us, check us out for a full 14 months. You can do it today and through Wednesday midnight. Gentlemen, it was another great draft. It was a lot of fun. Always love getting together with you guys. I wish it was more in person, but this will have to do. This is this is the best alternative, I guess we have.
There you go. Always fun hanging with you guys.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Good stuff, guys. Take care.
Yep. Thanks,
guys.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.